Hi everyone, it's Jerry. I have a fairly brief game to share with you from round 5 of the Titled Tuesday Blitz. This was held September 16th. On the white end, Magnus Carlsen playing against Shanglei. We start off with the birds opening, and after just a few moves, we are looking at the Grand Prix Attack, or something very close to the Grand Prix Attack. If knight c3, that's a true Grand Prix Attack Carlsen's move, we have here bishop b5. Now, if knight c3 and then bishop b5 is played, when this knight goes into d4, if captured, the pawn gets to recapture and target the knight has to move. A top response with this line would be to castle and allow the knight for bishop exchange. How it's playing out in this game, Carlsen is sort of getting a better version of the Grand Prix Attack. After bishop b5, the response is knight d4. Carlsen takes the knight, and after the recapture does not have to react to a threat, can now carry on with more development. We have here castles. Black's response sort of gets him into hot water. He plays queen b6. Queen ends up being very misplaced on this square, and we'll see how Carlsen takes advantage of this soon enough. It's appealing at first glance. Keep in mind this is only a 5-minute game, no increment. Appealing at first in that it targets the bishop opposite the king. Maybe you're setting up d3 with a discovered check. What would be a better move is a6, bishop a4, you're inviting b5 with tempo. And in the case of bishop c4, a strong response is d5, breaking up, or at least trying to break up white's duo. The point here is that in response to either capture, knight f6 is very strong. So on pawn takes, knight f6, note d5 hit twice. If bishop takes, knight f6, if you fall back to preserve the bishop, e4 is going to fall. Okay. How it's playing out in this one, we have queen b6, bishop c4. No consistent follow-up to queen b6. We have here bishop g7. If d3, this would be the main consistent follow-up to test out, but it's not working. You move the king, pawn takes pawn, queen recaptures. The c3 square is available for the knight in the end. Okay. In this one, we have bishop g7, d3, d6, knight d2, and from here, e6 is played. The setup the computer wants to go for, knight f6, and then put the bishop on e6. All right, the arrangement we have, the structure black goes with, is e6, follow up a4, knight e7, and bishop b5, check. This is how bad the position is for black. The best move is king f8, going uncastled. Evaluation reads around plus 1.2. The move in this game, move 11, knight c6. This is already considered winning for Carlsen. Let's see how. Knight c4, and e5, d6 clearly coming into focus here. What do you do about this? We see the capture on e5, and black castles from here, unpins the knight. If you take on e5, you don't have to do anything immediate as white. There is a sharp follow-up from here, but just know you have an unopposed dark square bishop and all of these weakened dark squares to take advantage of at some point. A strong continuation from here is to develop the queen. Problem on c6, f7, castles, bishop h6, scaring the rook away. f7 is going to collapse. Black is lost here. Black in this position castles. Bishop for knight exchange, releasing the pressure on e5. Queen recaptures. This idea remains open. Bishop g5. Carlsen has a great grip over the dark squares, is in full control of this position. From here we have b6, And Carlsen slips up here. He plays queen d2. He missed an idea that black has. I believe with queen d2, he did have an eye on maybe playing or supporting bishop h6, getting a dark square bishop exchange in there. What the computer prefers here is bishop f6. And this secures the e5 pawn more reliably. Okay, in this game it's queen d2, and now this is the move Carlsen missed, bishop a6. It's not going on the main diagonal. With this move, black is officially undermining the support of the e5 pawn. Black's going to be winning a pawn shortly. Bishop captures knight, bishop captures e5. You can't move the knight here. This pawn is just going to drop. So how Carlsen plays it, he goes with bishop f6 here. Rather than the queen d2 move, if bishop f6 and then bishop a6, you can move the knight. There's no problem here. And look at the grip over the dark squares. What a beast this knight is on d6. If bishop takes bishop in this position, there would be rook captures, crushing position. You can't even form a battery, easily at least, on the c file. Got that pivot square under control. f7 is going to be a huge problem. Okay, he slipped up for a moment. He goes with queen d2 here, bishop a6. Make sure he hangs on to this pawn. We have bishop f6. Black is winning a pawn, and he sort of still finds a way to make it work. This a4 move paves the way for this nice rook lift. Rook a3 to h3 coming up, followed by bishop captures bishop, queen h6, a mating attack on the h file. From here, we have h5, rook h3, and the follow-up is king h7. Black is already in an only move situation. Computer points out the top move here is d3, with one of its points being to open up the queen's eyes to g4, an idea that is right around the corner for Carlsen after rook h3 is a sacrifice on h5. So, to illustrate, let's just make a passing move. Rook captures pawn, pawn captures rook, queen g5 is an idea for Carlsen. If, in this position, d3 is played, and you go for this idea to take on h5, pawn takes, and queen g5 could now be met with queen g4. Okay, there's other ideas involved with d3, but that's one of its points to open up the fourth rank for the queen. What we see in this game is king h7, follow up rook captures pawn check, pawn captures rook, bishop captures bishop, and black must now give the queen. Queen captures rook is played here. If you don't, if you simply recapture on, if you take the bishop, there would follow queen g5 check, and then rook f6. And black has only a silly check to delay mate. Rook h6 is going to be mate soon enough. So black must part ways with the queen at this moment. Queen takes rook, king takes queen, king takes bishop, and from here Carlsen's queen just cleans house, is able to pick up the h4 pawn or h5 pawn with check, and the d4 pawn falls. What we're looking at here, a queen and two pawns versus two rooks in balance, and a clearly very exposed king. Let's see the conversion from here. Also, there's a very dangerous passed h-pawn, which will roll soon enough. First secures the c4 pawn. King improvement, cutting out any entry points by this rook, and he simply starts to roll with the h-pawn. This ends very fast. After rook h8, we have queen f6 check. Black resigns. If the game continued with the king dropping back, that hangs the rook. King d7 will drop both pawns. Only a 34 mover, but this one was lost many moves ago. Queen b6 was the first big step in the wrong direction. Misplaced piece. Nothing exciting happening here. Out of position to support any d5 ideas, being on b6 rather than home base. And by move 11, call it an officially lost position here for black. Anyhow, your thoughts with this one. Feel free, as usual, to leave any feedback to this video in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe took a thing or two away. That's all for now. Take care.